With pretty women, that is the name of this thought. That is the title I gave it. So, with pretty women, happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. It's amazing to be a man. So, with pretty women, this is a topic that is talked about a lot, both with us and pretty much anywhere with men, with guys, just the whole dating, wanting a partner, wanting multiple women, chasing women, all these things, right? With pretty women, never chase them. Never lose sight of where you're going. Never lose sight of who you are for or because of a woman. Walk with a purpose, and the people will walk into your life. That's what I wrote under that one. So never chase. Walk with a purpose, and the people will walk into your life. Also, in regards to chasing, this is a conversation we've had. Understand the difference between chasing and courting someone, between chasing and pursuing someone. Every time I hear the word chase, it's like, to me, it seems like to chase, you're just running after it with not knowing the game plan, with not knowing what to do, you're just simply just chasing. And then once you chase and you get there, you're like, oh shit, I got here, what do I do now, right? Whereas, like, if you pursue someone with intention, if you court someone, you're more understanding of the process in a sense. There's no confusion about what the main purpose of you and that person is. So that comes though when you walk with a purpose. When I say when you walk with a purpose, like, live life for yourself, going towards your end goal, going towards the things that you want in life. And don't worry about the people that have to be in your life, because the way it works, if you just straightforward, you'll see that people will come into your life. And then also understand that when people come into your life, some will stay, some won't, and that's just part of life. It's part of life, boys. It is what it is. And especially with women too, right? They come, they go. So just keep that in mind. You guys are young, so there's plenty of time. I don't want you guys to feel rushed either. With pretty women, go all in. If she's into you, don't be afraid of giving all of you. This comes from some conversations we've had where it's like, I don't want her to know that I like her too much. Or if she knows I like her too much, she'll get bored of me. Or if she has me wrapped around her finger, it's like it's over for me. Like, again, live life for yourself towards your purpose, and you won't get wrapped around no one's finger and all these things. But what I will say in regards to she has me wrapped around. Boys, is it not little pet peeve? Is it not amazing to just explore and have those feelings come out and just give them to that person that is allowing you to give it to them? And if they end up leaving, then they end up leaving. At the same time, you will heal. You, the person that gives love, the person that gives the most and is genuine about giving it, long term, it's a better satisfaction. It's more healing. That's what love is, to just give, to go all in and give, regardless of the outcome, right? Regardless of I found my person, or oh shit, this person played with my emotions, or this person took advantage of this and all that. On both ends, the fact that you're giving, that you're putting out your emotions, your feelings, your love, it'll pay long term. It'll pay, and I know it sucks. I know when you give and you don't get anything in return, or when you're expressing your feelings and you don't get them returned the way you expected. It sucks. It's annoying. It's frustrating to be rejected, to be left, to go through heartbreaks, right? To be in grief over a person. But if you just go all in, you have to trust that long term, you'll feel it. You'll understand and be like, oh shoot, like okay, like I've given love. I can give love again, and I can give love again. Try and stay away from the whole like, oh, like I got my heart broken. I am never gonna love again. I am never gonna trust anyone. Like you're closing yourself in on life, and that's gonna lead you down to a path that is just miserable, where you're just not fully experiencing life. My thoughts again, boys. These are my thoughts. We can always debate these, right? When we have the discussions, we can always challenge each other, but just thoughts, just from my perspective. With pretty women, don't lust. See them for a person, not for any sexual pleasure. So lust in itself is like a thing that we could spend months, we could spend years trying to just understand why it has a hold on men, understand why it comes into us. But it's never really gonna, like, trying to understand it will never really like give us the solution in a sense, because it's just one of those things that you're just like, damn, like we're really wrapped in it, like we're really in down this problem, we're really in this problem. So, and don't lust. See them for a person, not for any sexual pleasure. At times, just working with men, fake working with men, fake working with fake men. This is all just in my mind. In my mind, in this fake scenario, I work with men, right? So working with men, one of the things is like, okay, so I see a potential partner. One of the thoughts, one of the things that kind of come immediately is like, oh, like she looks good. I can't wait until like I already have her and then I have her. Does that kind of make sense? Whereas like if you look at a partner, if you look at a potential person as a partner, that should be maybe like the last thing, or like not even thinking about it, because you respect her so much, or you like her so much that you're willing to respect her and be like, you know what, I am not seeing you as anything sexual, not as an object. I am seeing you as a person that I want to get to know, as a person that is just there. So don't lust. See them for who they are, which is another human being, just an interaction with another human being. And that also helps with confidence, or with anxiety, right? One of the things that we talk about is when we go out and potentially trying to have conversations with the other gender, like, oh, like I'm scared. Like, don't be scared, dude. It's just like we get scared, we get too much into our minds because we go with it with the goal of like, okay, I gotta get her number, or I gotta make sure that she knows that I like her, or something like that. Whereas like if you just go up to a person and just have a conversation for just the intellect in a sense, or just for that human interaction, right? Just to experience life and just talk about it, and whatever comes. If nothing comes from it, then nothing comes from it. If something comes from it, then 2 in 1, right? But don't just try and get rid of lust in your eyes when you go out and you see a girl, or you want to talk to a girl. With pretty women, protect them, not only physically, but also emotionally and spiritually. So obviously you're going to protect your lady, right? You're going to protect your woman. But sometimes I feel that as men, we're like, okay, like I'm a provider, I'm a protector, and all this, and I'm not gonna let any guy come to her. I'm not gonna let anything happen to her. Like, cool, awesome, yes, like, okay, but dig deeper, go a little bit further. Are you protecting her emotions? Are you protecting her spiritually? Again, whatever that means to you, whatever it is that comes to mind when you hear spirituality or emotions, feelings, just thinking about the inside, right? Heart, mind. Because it's cool to protect them physically, right? Because you're like, heck yeah, like I can make sure no one sees you, no one does anything to you, right? But how much more cool would you feel that your female, right? Your partner feels very well protected overall, because for them, I'm assuming for them it's probably cool to be like, yeah, like my man can protect me and all this, but then like, oh shoot, like my emotions, or I'm feeling drained, I don't know what's going on, but I can't talk to him because then he's not gonna know what to say, or he's not gonna know how to listen, because sometimes the things that come from like talking to women is like, oh, just hear. Sometimes they just want someone to hear. And yes, sometimes they just want to be listened to, the same way that sometimes men want to be listened to. Although that's not talked about a lot. Hashtag Happy Man's Mental Health Awareness Month. Yeah, so make sure you make sure that you can protect them physically, but again, inside, emotionally and spirituality, whatever comes to mind when you hear that, right? If it means for you to maybe become emotionally intelligent, well, in general, you should be emotionally intelligent for yourself, but like say you gotta explore yourself even more because you're not maybe fully understanding her needs in regards to emotion, in regards to, again, ego, self, spirituality, whatever it is that we all deal as humans in a sense with that, right? So protect them, but not only physically, also emotionally. With pretty women, enjoy their presence. So take it all in. Be a safe space for each other. I shared in a previous video on one of my other mood boards. I shared how I took a pretty female. I took her out on a date. And I took her out on a date simply because I wanted to explore a new restaurant, and I wanted just to have that presence of walking into a place with a pretty female. Like that to me is like we didn't even finish the night like on that end, and that was a decision that I made because I'm like, nah, like I invited you out just because I wanted that. Kind of like the memes, right? Like, oh, he want to hang with the best, right? So I want to hang with a pretty female, and I don't even need anything from her. I just need her to be pretty, come with me, enjoy this restaurant, enjoy this time with me, and I am resetting myself. I am recharging, and I'm like, heck yeah, I went on a cool date. I'm back to the world. I can now go fight my battles and all that. So enjoy the presence. This kind of falls back into the don't lust. It's okay to just be with a woman, and again, just have that human interaction where you don't even need to be touching her, where you don't even need to be looking at her in a sexual way, where you don't even need to finish the night in a sexual aspect, right? Where you can just be with that person. And then I wrote, be a safe space for each other. So in order for you to enjoy their presence, right? If you want to hang with like a pretty female and just enjoy that presence and take it all in of like this female, she's very feminine, she's very pretty, she's just allowing me to be a man, she's allowing the masculine in me to just be like, heck yeah, stronger, right? Like getting like upbeat and all that. I don't know how to explain it. It's just something that it clicks, and I'm sure you guys have experienced it of like, heck yeah, like look at this girl like I'm with, right? So, but in order for her presence to be calming for you, you have to first of all be calm for yourself, that your own presence calms you. If you in your own presence cannot be calm, cannot feel like secure and all that, I don't think you'd be able to get that from someone else's presence. Or maybe you could, but it wouldn't be real and it wouldn't last, or it wouldn't give you the same emotions or the same things that it comes from you being already calm with your presence and then enjoying someone else's calm presence as well. So if you can be a safe space for her, then you can enjoy that presence. And it also speaks into the whole like, oh, like she's so masculine, oh, like this guy's so feminine. Like, well, yeah, obviously, like if you're masculine and you are with a masculine woman, in a sense, this is my thought, this is my little theory. I at least for me, I practice it too, right? So if the woman is masculine, a little bit of feminine comes out for me, so it can be balanced, if that makes sense. Because then if I'm masculine and this woman is being masculine too, then I'm like, oh, like it's not balanced, if that makes sense. So again, just scope it out, who you're choosing and also how you're doing the work. So if you can be a safe space for a woman, then she will be a woman. She will be feminine because you are creating that safe space for her. And then in return, her being fully feminine, nothing on that like masculine aspect and all that, then you'll be like, okay, like I can be a man, I can be masculine, healthy masculinity. Remember, when I'm talking about feminine, masculine, I'm talking about them in healthy ways, not in toxic ways, not in like be a man. So you be each other's safe space, so that way you guys can enjoy each other's presence. So with pretty women, enjoy their presence. With pretty women, guide them, but only if God is guiding you. At least, again, my thought, if God is not guiding you, how, or your belief system or your healthy values, beliefs, like all that, right, on that end, if those principles are not guiding you, then how can you be a good guide to others? Not just with women, but like to others. How can you be a good guide on that end, right? So guide them, but only if God is guiding you. And then I wrote, that is how they submit. So this dude's toxic, red pill, like all these things. Submit. When a woman submits to her husband, it is because the husband has submitted to God. That is the only way it will work. To me, if you don't submit to God as a man, your woman cannot submit to you. Or if your woman submits to you, it will not work. And then that's where you get the whole like, oh, like I'm not gonna submit to him, like that's toxic, or that's such a man thing and all that. But again, understanding that if a man submits to God, he will guide you in the right direction, and it's not gonna be like, oh, like I do this, I do that, you just listen. I do this, I do that, you just do this, right? It's not on that end. It's collaborating. And then a little thing on the whole like ego talk. This is a tip for the ladies, if any women ever come across this. We are at the 18-minute mark, so if you guys ever come across this is a little free game, or so I think. With the men that listen to their wives, so the men that are whipped, the men that are like that get made fun of, like, oh, like you always go to your wife for like all these things. And gentlemen, not always, all right? So don't always be going to your wife and all that. And again, it's all part of understanding how to be a man and how to balance a relationship with your spouse and with God. But ladies, if a man submits to God and you submit to him, you will have the, how do you say it with that? Again, this is ego talk. You will be happy. You will be happy because you will be able to, your men will listen to you. Your man will listen to you. But again, only if you are submitting and genuine about the submission too. Because if not, then I say this because then people could be like, oh, like I'm gonna wait to see what dude submits to God, and then I'm gonna go and say I'm gonna submit to him, and then I'm gonna be empowered and all these things. Because there's on both genders, like I told you guys, right? On both genders, there's just people that are not good. So that's why I say that. Guide them. So with pretty women, guide them, but only if God is guiding you, and that is how they will submit. If you submit to God, then they will submit to you. So if you want your wife to submit to you, then you submit to God. And then 20 minutes. Oof, okay, one more. With pretty women, don't be vulnerable. So understand how much you can show, and understand what is for you and God to know only. Don't be vulnerable with pretty women, but understand how much you can show to her, and then understand what is for you and God only. Don't be vulnerable, boys, in the sense that if a problem comes, like, and I know sometimes it's frustrating because you're like, fuck, like I just, like as a man, like I need to do all these things, blah, blah, like, so vent to God, let it all out to God, to yourself, but never with your lady, never with your partner. And again, understand when though. Understand when, because if you choose the right partner, you can move away from this, because with the right partner, they'll understand that, hey, like he's just being vulnerable, he's needing his space and all that. But it's a little, what was that? No. It's a little, I don't know, like you just gotta manage it good. So don't be vulnerable. Be vulnerable with yourself and with God. Like it's okay to be vulnerable. But then with women, with your partner, with your woman, be vulnerable in things that make sense. For example, say, and this is I've seen it a lot in our culture, in my culture. So say you lose a family member, right? A family member passes, and like it hurts you and all that. So again, at that point, go. If you have your safe space, your partner, then yeah, like it's okay to like express grief. It's okay to express these emotions. Where I would say like maybe the difference between, maybe another example is like, what can come to mind? I'm trying to think of something personal so that way it makes sense. Okay, so I suppose with I like footy. You guys know footies. If my team, and I get very emotional, but again on my own, right, in my own space with myself, where I can be a little kid again, and I can just enjoy being me. When my team loses like a championship final or like an important game and all that, like I get mad, I get sad. What was it, like 2 years ago? They won their first, after going without winning a title for like a couple of years. They finally won, and like I cried. I was like, so I wouldn't like go to my wife or like go to my girlfriend or whoever I'm with, right, and be like, like cry and all these things about a sports team. Because at that point you're like, yeah, like dude, what the fuck are we doing? Like, be a man, right? In a healthy way, be a man in a healthy way. But if I were to like lose one of my pets or something, like and it hurts, and I have my partner there, that's my safe space too. So with pretty women, don't be vulnerable, but understand how much is for you and God, and how much is for you and your partner. These are some things that I wrote when I was thinking about pretty women. I love pretty females. Pretty females deserve the world. Every woman deserves the world. But my preference, they for sure deserve the world. So I just wanted to put that out there, put this thought onto this channel, because part of these things we have talked about, and if I can maybe make your mind create your own ways of viewing women in a positive in a good light and not away from red pill, and if we can get it away from red pill, right? So not in a sense that red pill is telling you to think of women, or that unhealthy toxic ways are telling you to look at women. That's a win in my books.